Mwadibo. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some places in this world, good night. This is American Biafran Veterans Network, ABVet Weekly News, Washington, D.C. I am Chief OBDK. Here are the news. And what comes across as a really shocking development, gunmen on Sunday morning wreaked havoc on communities in Imo State by kidnapping two traditional rulers. The gunmen also burnt their palaces and vehicles during their operation. The affected traditional rulers were Eze Acho Ndukwe of Amagu Ihube and Eze Paul Ogun of Ihite Ihube, both in the Okigwe local government area of the state. The gunmen also kidnapped a youth leader of Umulolo Okigwe, whose name had yet to be ascertained as of the time of filing this report. Apart from kidnapping the traditional rulers and youth leader, the gunmen also invaded the country home of a community leader in Umulolo, Okigwe, Fabian Mosu, and vandalized his house. Community sources told our correspondents that the assailants came in Hilux vehicles in an operation that lasted from 12 midnight to 12 a.m. on Sunday. The source revealed that Ezin Dukwe, the chairman of the Council of Traditional Rulers in Okigwe local government area, is also chairman of and chief executive officer of the Guinness Hotel in Okigwe. The spokesman for the police in the state, Michael Abatam, disclosed that the command had commenced investigation into the incident. This is coming on the heels of the attack on the traditional rulers of Alta, ancient kingdom, in Njaba, local government area. Eze Edwin Azike, who was kidnapped on Thursday and killed on Friday, with his corpse dumped at the market square. Also the traditional ruler of Umbutu, ancient kingdom, Eze Damien Mwaigwe, was kidnapped on Thursday and released on Saturday. The onslaught on traditional rulers in the southeast has continued ever since hoodlums invaded Njaba, local government area, council headquarters at Nenasa on October 19th and shot at traditional rulers who were having a stakeholders meeting. While two traditional rulers sustained gunshot injuries and were rushed to a hospital, two other monarchs died on the spot. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has reacted to the killing of traditional rulers in Imo State, Edwin Azike, by unknown gunmen on Thursday. IPOB accused the governor of the state, Hope Uzodinma, of being behind Azike's murder, alleging that the governor had threatened to act against any monarch who failed to do his bidding. The group spokesman, Emma Powerful, said that this is a statement made available to newsmen. The pro-Biafran group alleged that the traditional rulers of Njaba was murdered by fake gunmen created by politicians in Imo State in their desperation to demonize IPOB and the Eastern Security Network. It described the situation Imo as a burning hell under the watch of Hope Uzodinma, while calling on elders in the state to address the issue and call the governor to order. On Friday, that same unknown gunman gruesomely killed Azike, the traditional ruler of Ata, ancient kingdom, and Ijaba, local government area of the state. He was abducted on Thursday, and his corpse was found at the community market square on Friday morning. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In other developments, the indigenous people of Biafra has called on the Nigerian government to transfer its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, to a prison facility. The group said this in a reaction to starvation and all other torture operatives of the Department of State Services had subjected Kanu to. In a statement released by its spokesman, Emma Powerful, on Saturday, IBOP asked the Nigerian government and its secret police to stop violating Kanu's rights. It warned against harming Kanu through unnecessary punishment meted out to him while he is in detention. IPOB alleged that DSS denied its leader food for 3 to 4 days, while now calling on Amnesty International and other human rights groups to prevail on Nigerian government to stop the continued maltreatment and humiliation violation of Kanu while he is in custody. Recall that Kanu's lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and his brother, Prince Kanu, cried out last week that the leader was denied food, medical care, change of clothes, and other provisions ordered by the court. The Hausa Association of Nigeria, also known as Kungiya, Hausa One Nigeria, or KUNHAN, has called on Muhammadu Buhari to resign from office because of the obvious failure of his administration. The association, in an open letter to Buhari on Sunday, which was obtained by our correspondent, said the Buhari regime spared Fulani terrorists and bandits, but went after such men as Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and Sunday Adeyomo, aka Sunday Igboho, the Yoruba national agitator. The association noted that the Hausa regrets supporting and voting for Buhari massively. Kuhan, through its letter, portrayed the true picture of Hausa mood, noting that it had hoped that by voting for Buhari into power, they have chosen a messiah based on what Muhammadu Buhari said he would do. If voted in, there will be security in the country, improved economic, and fight against corruption, all of which turned out to be fictitious. It also noted with dismay that high-profile, deadly Fulani terrorists like Tarji and collaborators are still roaming freely, simply because they are just a threat to Hausas rather than Buhari's sovereignty, while Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho could be found even beyond our territory. The group berated Buhari for giving empty threats while the Hausa people are incarcerated, killed, and their women and girls raped mercilessly without tangible measures to tackle the menace. It noted with disbelief that the Buhari administration sees Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho to be a threat, while the real terrorists are treated with kids' gloves. Which is why a whole Minister of Information named them just ordinary criminals but called Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. It, however, called on Muhammadu Buhari to resign with immediate effect. Suspected bandits have kidnapped 11 persons, including a chief imam, Aminu Gaba, who was preparing to lead Jamaat congregational prayer at Garawa village in Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto. The imam was kidnapped along with 3 others on Friday, according to reports. The assailants also blocked the Sabon Birni Garawa road on Saturday, shot 3 persons, and kidnapped 7 others. The members representing Sabon Birni South constituency in the State House of Assembly, Saudu Ibrahim, who confirmed the attack, said the injured persons were currently receiving treatment at a hospital in Wamako. In another development, fighters of the Islamic State in West African province terrorist group have abducted an unspecified number of passengers along Damaturu-Mudugri Highway in Borno State. Security sources said the commuters were headed to Mudugri in Borno State from Damaturu in Yobe when they were intercepted a few kilometers after Banishik town. Chairman, Northeast Network of Civil Organizations, Amadou Shehu, also confirmed that he received reports of the abduction. It was gathered that the incident happened around 8:30 a.m. on Saturday. Terrorists had recently abducted passengers in the state, which is the epicenter of insurgency. A pastor of the Evangelical Church Winning All, ECWA, in Naraya, under Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, has been killed by his abductors over delayed payment ransom. Reverend Dauda Bature was kidnapped while working on his farm within the same area on November 8th. According to a source who is a member of the church, the bandits demanded 10 million naira, $20,000. After much negotiation with the wife of the abducted pastor, they requested that she bring the money to them. Upon reaching where they agreed on November 18th, the bandits collected the money and withheld the wife, but later released her after December 6th. Only to call a few days to say that they have killed him for not paying the money at a scheduled date. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Kaduna, Reverend Joseph Hayab, who confirmed the incident, lamented that the bandits are now cruel and brutal to their victims. He called on the government to increase efforts to put frequent attacks on people and to check them. The leadership of ECWA had been finding it difficult to break the information to the wife until yesterday, Friday, which is why people are just getting to know about it. A gunman in military camouflage uniform attacked policemen killing one mobile police officer by the Abia State Command Station. The incident happened yesterday, 13 December, as the bandits attacked a policeman near the Abia State Police Command headquarters in Umuahia, the state capital. The Biafran National Guard, BNG, has claimed responsibility for the attack at the Abia State Police Command headquarters, Umuahia, according to a report. BNG is one of the groups agitating for the restoration of Biafra. The BNG, in a statement issued and signed by its head of media, Elamamba Eberechukwu, explained that it attacked the headquarters to effect the arrest of the Commissioner of Police, Janet Ebede, to explain the reasons behind attacks on Biafrans. The statement further reiterated it had declared war on the Nigerian government. He reminded members of the public that the group had earlier called for the release of prisoners of conscience who were incarcerated in various prison facilities across Nigeria for daring to preach Biafran freedom. The BNG swore to bring those killing Biafrans to book, which prompted the invasion of Abia State Police headquarters to arrest the Commissioner of Police, Janet Ebede, who has overseen deaths of thousands of Biafrans. There is a new lawsuit that has been filed. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has filed a case against the Department of State Services, DSS, Attorney General of the Federation of Ministers of Justice, Abubakar Malami, before the Federal High Court in Abuja, accusing it of grossly violating his fundamental human rights. The IPOB leader bemoaned that despite an order of the court, he had neither been allowed to have a change of clothes nor to practice his religion in detention. The suit was supported by an affidavit of urgency that was deposed by Kanu's younger brother, Emmanuel. Kanu is seeking an order from the Federal High Court in Abuja to compel the DSS to allow him access food, medical care, and clothes of his choice. He alleged that his demand for the security agency to grant him access to his medical record was repeatedly refused. In the suit, dated December 13, 2021, Kanu also applied for another order against DSS to allow him make arrangements for his food by himself at his own expense. Kanu, in the suit he filed through one of his lawyers, Mr. Maxwell Opala, alleged that a doctor engaged by the security agency has extracted his blood over 21 times. Opera said when he visited DSS detention facility last Thursday, the IPOB leader complained to him that he suspected the doctor extracting his blood to be a quack. No date has been fixed for hearing of the suit. Recall that Kanu's lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and his brother, Prince Kanu, cried out last week that his brother was denied food, medical care, change of clothes, and other provisions ordered by the court. Terrorism. The National Security Advisor, NSA, Major General Babagana Manguno, retired, has identified Jamaat Nasser Islam wa Muslimi, JNIM, the Islamic and Muslim Support Group, GSM, GSIM, the Islamic and Muslim Support Group, and ISGS as groups bolstering terror activities in Nigeria and all the Sahel countries. The NASA NSA urged Islamic preachers and imams to deploy their vantage position to canvass support for ongoing counter-terrorism operation. He observed movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra has kicked against ideas of Igbos kneeling in order to get the presidency in 2023. Musab said the Southeast will not kneel and beg anybody. Rather, it will fight tooth and nail to produce the next president. Uchenna Madu, leader of Musab, said this in a statement. Madu said Igbos are not beggars, hence it will be an abomination to the region to stoop that low. According to Madu, no one can trust for his perceived enemy, just as the so-called Igbo Abuja politicians go about killing their brothers to please the northern caliphates, yet they never gain their trust. He described it as an abomination for Igbo elders to kneel down to another in begging, noting that though that the lives of Igbo are at risk, but they can never beg. Rather, they will devise other means of fighting back. Muhammad Buhari had been told to honorably resign or be disgraced out of office through impeachment. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, HURIWA, said this following the spate of insecurity in the country. HURIWA said Buhari has shown that he lacked the capacity to protect Nigerians. In his statements by its national coordinator, Emmanuel Onwubike, lamented that the leadership of the National Assembly is so incompetent and compromised that it may take extraordinary measures to get them to follow the Constitution and impeach Buhari. HURIWA said that it is unfortunate that the spokesman of Buhari attempted to divert the attention of Nigerians on the collapsing state of security by talking about such unrelated issues as COVID-19 and chase shadows by asserting without empirical evidence that insecurity is global. The group reminded spokesman to President Gariba Shehu and other Igbo haters hibernating in Buhari's government that to a large extent, Buhari calls military action in the southeast of Nigeria as constituting crime against humanity because of the wanton killings by soldiers' policy of unarmed Igbo youths under the guise of chasing after the Eastern Security Network. The group noted that the atrocities in the Southeast are still being committed by the security agencies and are already being compiled by Amnesty International as war crime. Remember, this weekly news is brought to you from the American Biafran Veterans Network, ABVet, in Washington, D.C., USA. We will be right back.
Over half of the armored vehicles given to Nigeria government to fight terrorism are now in the hands of Boko Haram. President Obama and the Clintons donated millions to support the Buhari campaign in Nigeria. It is confirmed that Buhari, upon taking over office from President Jonathan, terminated Nigeria contract to fight Boko Haram. President Biden is aware that President Buhari has been dead since 2017 and buried in Saudi Arabia, and that the person wearing Buhari face mask is not Buhari. The Boko Haram terrorists and operatives are now embedded across the Nigeria armed forces. The ruling party, APC, and Boko Haram are one and the same. During the End SARS protest, the whole world watched live as the Nigerian military killed unarmed citizens. Yet, the United States report said no one was killed. It's almost obvious that the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria may be compromised. Any intelligence or weapon sold to the Nigeria presidency will be used to kill Christians and Fulanize Nigeria. Buhari was the patron of Boko Haram. The current Minister of Communication in Nigeria, Pantami, is the co-founder of Miyetti Allah, the number 2 terrorist organization in Nigeria. Please call President Biden today. Call your senator now. Stop the sales of fighter jets to Nigeria. Vote no to American booths on Nigerian ground to support Boko Haram to kill Christians. BiafraHolocaust.org. PG2 sponsored this message.
Welcome back. This is Chief OBDK. Here are the rest of the news. Some gunmen in Awka, Anambra State, killed 3 persons. The attack took place yesterday as tricycle operators scheduled a protest. It was learned that one of the 3 persons killed was a tricycle operator, but the planned protest was said to be in connection with the perceived high fees imposed on the transporters by their leaders. The 3 persons were gunned down at Nnamdi Azikiwe University Junction. A police officer confirmed the incident, blaming it on cultists. He said the command had mapped out a strategy to curb rampant cultism in the state, adding that the commissioner of police, Echeng, had deployed men to investigate the killing. In other news, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the lead counsel to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has reiterated that the Department of State Services subjects his clients to torture in detention. Ejiofor, in his reaction to the DSS public relations officer, Peter Afunanya, said on Tuesday that Kanu was being mentally tortured while describing the DSS accounts as blatant falsehood. In a statement released on Wednesday, Ejiofor said that he is compelled to set the record straight in view of the damage the DSS response dished out by the agency spokesman, Mr. Afunanya. According to him, the Anti-Torture Act of 2017 defined torture to include mental or psychological torture, which is understood as referring to such cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment calculated to affect or confuse the mind or undermine a person's dignity and morale, such as by the act of confinement in solitary cells against their will. Therefore, Nnamdi Kanu need not be subjected to daily beatings and flogging by the personnel of DSS before he can be qualified as being tortured, contrary to what Afunanya said. He revealed that the law prescribes punishment of 25 years imprisonment upon conviction for personnel of any of the security agency found to be in breach of law. AG4 said that he was unable to find in any place throughout the statement where Mr. Afunanya clearly denied the fact that his client is subjected to 23 hours solitary confinement. AG4 added, the Fendi cloth that his client was putting on at the time he was abducted in Kenya is the only cloth he has worn to court. Despite their plea to the authorities concerned that his clothes should be changed, he noted that DSS rejected his client's prayer materials brought to him by his family, even when the court recently ordered that Kano be allowed to practice his religion. Regarding Kano's health condition, Ejiofor revealed that his client needed urgent medical attention, which the medical department of the DSS is struggling to address, having taken his blood sample over 21 times for laboratory examination. No solution is in sight. Their trial and error has continued unabated. He continued that DSS from June 2021 had fed his client when he was openly threatened in court by one of the DSS personnel that escorted him to court to deal with him during an altercation on the 10th, November 2021. And ever since, he has constantly complained of being poorly fed. Ejiofor advised Mr. Afunanya to deal with these issues pointed rather than selling lies to the public. The indigenous people of Biafra has called on the people of the Southeast to stop dreaming about producing the next president of Nigeria in 2023. A statement, Emma Powerful said that the remark that the Southeast preparing to beg for the 2023 presidency will make Igbos a laughing stock. IPOB on Wednesday said the reason is because Northern oligarchy would never support a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction, hence the need to support unconditionally Biafra. Powerful said Igbo leaders should push for the freedom of IPOB Nnamdi Kanu rather than beg for the presidency. IBOP said it will never be a party to their begging and fawning for a transient political office at the detriment of their freedom. The group warned Igbo leaders against using IBOP and Nnamdi Kanu to bargain their way into political office, but rather focus on securing the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. IBOP advised Igbo leaders desperate for power in 2022 that they should refrain from making unguarded utterances that would make the entire Igbo race a laughing stock. He called on Igbo politicians, businessmen, elders, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and acclaimed leaders, including Ahanes and Igbo, to retrace their steps and carry themselves with dignity at all times. In a recent development, the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has commended the Eastern Security Network, ESN, for its defense of Biafran land in the last 1 year of its inauguration. The group warned against politicians and Department of State Security, DSS, alleging plans to recruit 500 youths into the security outfit, saying that it was a plot to deceive Biafrans and make them believe they are in charge of ESN in Biafra land. According to Media and Publicity Secretary Emma Powerful, who vowed not to allow saboteurs to create another ESN to confuse and bring harm to our people, assured Biafrans that ESN leadership is firmly under the control of those leaders and trusted the responsibility into their hands. A call on Biafrans, both home and in diaspora, to be very wary and shun the planned fundraising event, which is a ploy by those working for politicians and DSS to purportedly recruit 5,000 youths into ESN. Tambuwa, Sokoto State Governor Amini Tambuwa, has called on security operatives to treat bandits like terrorists that they are. It is following the killing of 22 travelers in the state. Tambuwa has expressed sadness over the killing, stated that the bandits attack and kill at random, irrespective of political differences. The governor, on Tuesday, received a delegation of the Nigerian Governors Forum, led by its chairman and governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi. According to Tambuwa, bandits do not have any ideological or tribal pursuit, describing the criminals as enemies of humanity. He, however, called on Nigerians to support the security agencies in curtailing the activities of bandits and terrorists in the country. A member of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Rwanu Amini Gadugua, has been reportedly killed by bandits. According to the report, Gadugua was killed by bandits while on his way to Kaduna. This information was confirmed by Kaduna State Senator Shehu Sani. Shehu, in a series of tweets, noted that Kadugua was shot by bandits while on his way to Kaduna and had given up the ghost. Honorable Rwanu Aminu Kadugua, before his death, represented the Giwa West constituency. This comes barely 2 days ago when terrorists opened fire on travelers, as many were kidnapped along the busy Kaduna-Zaria Road in Kaduna State. It was learned that the gunmen struck around 8 p.m., shooting sporadically at vehicles in order to immobilize them and abduct the passengers. Witnesses noted that the attackers had taken many travelers into the bush before the arrival of security agents. The onslaught of traditional rulers in Imo State has continued unabated, as hoodlums have again kidnapped the traditional ruler of Umwezala Ama Autonomous Community in Ehibe Mbano local government area of Imo State. Ezaluso Sigwe said Tuesday night. Reports say that the incident took place around 8:10 p.m. at Umwezala Market Square. Umwezala Market Square in the area. A community leader from Umwezala Ama Autonomous Community, who spoke on the basis of anonymity, alleged that Eze Alucius Igwe was kidnapped at the Umwezala Market Square in Ehime Mbano when he was coming back from a meeting and heading to a place they said he wanted to pick up his wife from another meeting. The source revealed that the kidnappers stormed the area in a commercial bus and 3 motorcycles, shot several times before they abducted the monarch and headed towards Abab Beach Road. However, at the time of filing this report, the Imo State Police Relation Officer, PPRO, Michael Abatum, said he had not yet confirmed the incident. It should be recalled that one of the monarchs, the traditional ruler of Ata Ancient Kingdom in Njaba, local government area of Imo State, Edwin Azike, was murdered, while the traditional ruler of Mbutu, Ancient Kingdom of Abo Mbise, local government area of Imo State, Eze Damien Mwigwe, was rescued unhurt. Eze Acho Ndukwe of Ihibu, autonomous community in Okigwe local government area of Imo State, was rescued. The traditional ruler of Mbiere, an autonomous community in Mbaitoli local government area, is a Henry Madumere, father to former Imo State Governor. Eze Madumere was kidnapped and later freed by his abductors. This has stirred up fear in both the minds of the traditional rulers in the state and their subject, and many of them have fled to the capital city for fear of being kidnapped. Okeke, who is a traditional ruler of Amaifike community in Orus State, he has had series of meetings with monarchs to prefer a solution to the challenges bedeviling the monarchs for the past 2 weeks in Imo State. And a source close to the office of the monarch said the traditional rulers have not slept for the past 5 days, as he has been moving about to see to the welfare of his colleagues. He stated that the pressure that comes with the news of kidnapped monarch has made it difficult for traditional rulers to move about freely, as most of them have taken to disguise themselves. Some no longer move about with their private cars, but enter commercial vehicles just to disguise themselves. Reacting to the development, the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Group, or Hanes and Igbo, yesterday said that the situation is complex, and the group, or Hanes and Igbo, are worried. The public relations officer of the Apex Igbo Group, Chief Alex Ubunea, while reacting to the recent abduction of traditional rulers in the Southeast, said that the group have been talking to the youth and governments. He insisted that some of these killings are being sponsored by external forces for their selfish interests across Igbo land. Also worried by the development, Elder Statesman and First Republic Aviation Minister Mbazulike Amechi has appealed to those kidnappings and killing the traditional rulers, no matter the reason, to stop forthwith, as it amounts to sacrilege. Amechi, however, exonerated the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, from the killing of Igbo land after meeting with Muhammadu Buhari and also meeting the leader of IPOB, Bazi Nnamdi Kanu, at DSSL, whom he said he had very fruitful discussion and frank talk with. Amechi, however, noted that the main problem in Imo State is not IPOB, ESN, or any Biafran group, but rather the greatest problem Imo State has is political, and it is between the incumbent governor of the state, Senator Hope Uzodinma, and his predecessor, Owele Rojas Okorocha, adding that until they resolve their problem and make peace, Imo State may not be calm. Amechi therefore urged the two elephants in Imo State who are in the same political party to resolve their problems for the interest of peace in Imo State, saying that the amicable solution or resolution of their problem will bring calm in the state, since the majority of the crisis in the state is from the Olu and Idiato zone of the state. Armed security personnel yesterday arrested protesters in Abuja while others were dispersed in Kano State. In Abuja, policemen from the Federal Capital Territory Command disrupted a protest by some northern youths in the territory, arresting 7 persons, including 2 journalists. The 2 journalists were later released. The protesters had converged at the Nigerian Labor House, popularly known as Ayuba Waba House, central area, demanding an end to the insecurity in the north. Armed with placards bearing arms with various inscriptions like Buhari is a weak army general, northern region is bleeding, Buhari is sleeping. How many have to die in the north before Buhari is asked to resign? Among others, the protesters marched under the bridge in Gaki Area 1, where some policemen emerged and arrested them. When contacted, the Federal Government Territory Command spokesperson, Josephine Ade, said policemen were deployed to restore normalcy following information that there was a civil disturbance in the area. In another development, Kano State security officials consisting of policemen and DSS operatives barricaded the gate of the Nigerian Union of Journalists to stop youths protesting against insecurity in the north from entering the premises. One of the leaders of the protesting group, Jamilu Charanchi, Northwest Coordinator, Coalition of Northern Groups, read the communique while delivering his address at the gate of the NUJ. They called on the Nigerian government to avoid increasing the price of fuel, addressing insecurity, and resolve the problem of inflation in the country. Also speaking on the insecurity, one of the organizers of the protest, Abba Hekima, called for a stop to the bloodletting in the north, while insisting that security personnel be properly armed to face the bandits who he insisted are more armed than the state security agents. The human rights group Amnesty International has called on security agencies, including the Nigerian police force and the DSS, to stop harassing and arresting youths protesting insecurity in northern Nigeria. In a series, Amnesty demanded the release of young protesters. The group called on Nigerian authorities to immediately and unconditionally release all those arrested for exercising the right of assembly. Eze Otu Ndembise Igwe Ezeudo has called on Muhammad Buhari to immediately facilitate the release of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who has been in custody of the Department of State Services since June, when he was seized in Kenya. He stated that it is disheartening to note that 61 years after Nigeria's independence, one of the tribes that formed the tripart of the country is yet to produce a sitting president, which he believes is one of the reasons behind endless agitation in the southeast geopolitical zone. Bandits in some other communities in Niger State have demanded that farmers pay some levies before the harvesting of their crops. The bandits reportedly threatened to attack the farmers or destroy their crops if they failed to pay the levies. A joint security task force that raided kidnapped camps in southeastern Nigeria has allegedly uncovered an abandoned community. The task force that includes the Nigerian military, police and Department of State Services, the director of DSS in Imo State, Wilcox Dam Nabo, said the operation was carried out at Osu local government area in Imo State, as well as Uli and the Ehala local government area of Anambra State. Idam Nabo revealed that the community had been abandoned and left in the hands of criminals, took over the community and carved out lands for themselves, which he described as another brand of insurgency. After a gun duel between the security forces and some of the suspected kidnappers, numbering about 30 were arrested in Imo State. He expressed surprise that in this century, some people still practice cannibalism. The many consumers and sellers of the dreaded killer hard drug metamorphine chloride crystal meth called Mudi in Obodo Amiyama Autonomous Community in Ikeduiru local government area of Imo State have issued a 48-hour notice to quit the community. The decision was taken at the cabinet meeting of the Eze in Council, led by the traditional ruler of Obodo Amaima Ama Imo Autonomous Community. The council further said if nothing is done to checkmate the menace, the life and future of the youth will be history. The indigenous people of Biafra has declared Nnamdi Kanu a prisoner of conscience. The IPOB said Kanu, who is in custody of the Department of Service, DSS, was arrested for committing no offense. Emma Powerful, the spokesman of IPOB, in a statement released today and obtained by our correspondent, said its leader only advocated for self-determination due to the perceived oppression of the Southeast. A statement by Powerful noted that Kanu was first arrested in 2015 and subjected to violation of his fundamental rights and later escaped when the military invaded his home in 2017, but was abducted in Kenya and rendition to Nigeria in June and has since remained DSS detention in Abuja. IBOP, therefore, have to inform the international communities of African countries. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for the freedom and self-determination of his people as the United Nations Charter, African Union Charter, and the Nigerian Constitution, to which Nigeria is a signatory, recognize self-determination as a fundamental human right and not a crime. IBOP alleged that hundreds of concerned citizens exercised their rights to peaceful protests against the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were massacred in cold blood by Nigerian security services, and some were arrested without trial, while others simply disappeared and have never been found again. The Kanu's condition to that of Nelson Mandela, who fought against apartheid, noting that he broke no law, nor committed any offense. He only advocated freedom for his people from decade-long apartheid-level oppression and tyranny in Nigeria. The statement noted that the indigenous people of Biafra has remained a peaceful organization, devoid of any hate or violence, and totally committed to its aims and objectives through peaceful democratic means as recognized by international law. They call the attention of the world leaders, Amnesty International, African Union, Human Rights Watch Organization, and civil society organization to ongoing extrajudicial detention, persecution, and widespread human rights violation in Nigeria. The Coalition of Northern Groups, CNG, Sokoto State Chapter, has threatened to shut down the zone if the federal government fails to resolve the security situation in the zone within 3 months. The CNG noted that criminal activities ranging from banditry, kidnapping, to armed robbery had escalated in the Northwest, resulting in the killing of hundreds of people. The coalition in a communique issued at the end of the meeting said it had mobilized youths in the states and Northwest to ground activities in the zone until government deals with the problem of banditry and other violent crimes. He lamented the escalating insecurity, particularly in Sokoto, and called for immediate action to address the situation once and for all. This is even as Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwa asked the federal government to recruit special forces to fight bandits in the enclaves. Governor Tambuwa said the state government was looking into the possibility of deboarding all boarding schools in the state, pending when the security situation improved. This is American Biafran Veterans Network, ABVet Weekly News, Washington, D.C. This is Chief OBDK. God bless you. God be with you.